for many, many years. I don't know why it's taken us so long to get you on the show. How are you, Andrew?
I am great. I'm very busy today. I've got gigs and everything. I'm very good though. Thanks, Tom.
Whereabouts in the world are you?
I'm in Liverpool.
Okay.
In the UK.
Are you living in Liverpool at the moment?
Yeah, I've been based here for about 3 or 4 years.
Okay, I thought you were in Birmingham, and then were you in Birmingham for a bit?
Yeah, I've been in Birmingham 3 or 4 years as well before that, and then moved back up to Liverpool. So I loved it so much.
Okay, I haven't been stalking you. It's just I was just aware that you'd been in hanging out in Birmingham for a bit. I want to talk to you about your new. Are we calling it an EP? STP?
Yeah.
It's an EP, isn't it?
The STP EP. Yeah,
STP EP, which sounds like. Can you start by telling us a little bit about STP? I know this EP is named after a drug. Is this true that Alexander Shulgin's one of his kind of creations?
Yeah, so like with the sound, I was really focusing in on some of that 60s and 90s kind of psychedelia, and the title is from this notorious drug from the 60s that was sold as serenity, tranquility, and placidity, quite ironically, as it was actually known for causing mad hysteria and overdoses.
Okay, so I'm assuming that in making this record, this isn't sort of the sound. You're not trying to kind of copy the chaos in your music.
Essentially, yeah, it's kind of parcel of what the sound kind of incorporates.
I was reading that this release has kind of been a labour of love. You've been working on this for a couple of years. Why has it been a labour of love?
Because we went through multiple iterations, and it's been such a release with such focus for me, and also the fact that a release from one of my favourite DJs, Orla, from my own hometown.
Yes,
so it's got that kind of home nostalgic kind of element in there. So it's probably one of the most important releases for me.
I've noticed quite a lot of sort of music coming out of Ireland recently. Is it? I guess it's kind of not maybe somewhere that people have looked to for sort of clubbing, but kind of maybe through you. In fact, recently I've been kind of noticing stuff.
There's so much going on from the north. Well, you're seeing from Derry with Keltronic and the artists coming out of there, like Tartan and things, and then Belfast with all the connections to Ava, from Carlton Doom to Reggae, and all sorts of amazing artists coming out of Belfast, and quite a few labels as well, like Rudimentary, trying to push local artists who maybe been overlooked in the past.
The Orla remix. Did you always know that Orla was going to do a remix for this?
We had a few different Irish kind of artists like Eomac and things that were going to get involved in the and did some remixes, and we ended up after a couple of iterations it was Orla's that we ended up choosing.
It's just amazing. It's so amazing, that remix. It's kind of like, it's very unpredictable, isn't it? It goes very ambient, and then it's an amazing record.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very fitting with the sound and the idea behind the release, because it's kind of this deconstructed, kind of psychedelic take on the quite trippy track already.
Yeah, I DJ'd it, in fact, at Printworks. I played that record out a while ago. Yeah, I did. I slipped into a set at Printworks, and I was just thinking kind of, I want to know what's going to go on here, what's going to happen. But it was great. Sent everyone on a kind of a ride.
Wow, love it.
10 years, I'm guessing, roughly 10 years since your Bones in Motion release on Leaving Records. Did this occur to you?
Yeah.
It's kind of anniversary.
It's just over 10 years overall since I've been doing releases, and it's coming on early next year. So I'd actually had that release done for over a year by the time it actually came out. So it's very much the anniversary this year.
It seems to me kind of it's a very cool place to have released your first record, but it seems to me like not the most sort of obvious choice for kind of, a chap from Derry to be releasing on Leaving Records in LA. It seems, I love the fact that happened, but it seems like an odd path you've taken.
Yeah, absolutely. I just didn't know of any labels in Northern Ireland, for example, that were releasing my kind of music. So I looked elsewhere, and I was listening to a lot of the LA sound, like Leaving Records, 100% Silk, some of the blogs and stuff like Altered Zones that were kind of sharing a lot of that kind of left field dance and hip hop oriented music. So I went straight for them.
Yeah, and also working with 100% Silk is just a very kind of cool thing to be doing.
They're just such a lovely crowd. They send me parcels with all sorts of records and odd items, like just all sorts of knickknacks and things, and they're just such a lovely bunch.
And and the Not Fun tapes, do you listen to that a lot as well? Do you know those guys?
Yeah, that was kind of how I got introduced to them. Yeah. So I was always into that kind of music, that kind of out there kind of psychedelic rock and indie kind of elements.
And you're obviously like generally a kind of a big fan of a slightly faded tape noise.
Oh yeah, yeah. I always have been. I've worked in what I've always loved.
Yeah, of course. Your last album was the Weather Underground back in 2020.
Yeah, it was. I've actually got another release coming with 100% Silk under another alias.
Have you? I can't keep up with your aliases.
Yeah, Indupan it's called. You've actually played one of the Indupan tracks.
Have I? You see, I didn't even know it was you. This is what happens.
It's a bit of a secret alias, so that's kind of...
Well, there you go. It shows that my love is pure, I think. Is that there?
I think so.
So tell me about this new release. So is the whole album out now?
The EP or
the new release that you've done with 100% Silk?
Oh, that's coming in January, February kind of time, so it's all mastered and ready to go. But... not quite shared just yet.
Okay. What I really love about your records is, like, for all your various aliases, and you kind of making different types of music, but you kind of, there's a part of you that just can't keep the euphoric party back. At some point, you're just like, I can't hold it back anymore. And it just comes out.
Yeah, I started to make something more experimental or trippy or whatever you would call it, and then I put the rave piano sounds from the Core Jam 1, and I'm like, oh, wait,
this is it.
Work.
I'm looking at this sort of like 9 minutes sort of dusty Chicago house record. I was like, there's a limit to how long he can hold out before this comes out.
It won't take long.
So tell us a little bit about some other things you've got coming up at the moment. Any sort of other aliases, perhaps, that we can or can't know about?
So yeah, I'm starting a little dub plate series, kind of focused around little tape, obviously, or in like distorted garage. Under this Overload is the event and radio and music kind of series I'm doing in Liverpool.
Okay.
So I'm kind of focusing some energy to bringing some artists to Liverpool for events and putting out some artists from the local area on dub plates and things.
Can you tell me a little bit about the sort of the scene that you've immersed yourself in Liverpool? I mean, is this something that you've always known about, or something that's kind of grown quite recently that you've kind of latched onto?
So I went to university here and then moved away, and when I moved away I became aware of all these things were happening, like a lot of distractions, fantastic radio station, it's got lots of great DJs that have gone on to bright and sunny things of NTS and the like, and then just some of the fantastic venues that have continued to pull great artists in, like 24 Kitchen Street, Meraki, the Invisible Wind Factory, pulling in all sorts of interesting acts. It's lovely to see that in Liverpool, and I feel like there is a very localized but frenetic and energetic scene. It's
quite nice at the moment seeing that the sort of the northwest of the country seems to be taking over the sort of the dance music world at the moment, with kind of Manchester being so healthy as well, and everything's so kind of focused on Bristol for so long, and it just seems like that corner of the country at the moment, it just seems to be producing so much awesome stuff.
Absolutely. Well, you've got the White Hotel in Manchester.
Yeah.
The central echelon of long run nights with really interesting music and all sorts of art and live gigs and stuff. And then Warehouse Project, and there's a lot of drive here. Yeah,
it's great. It's like they're kind of just all kicked off. And I mean, as you say, it's always been there. It just seems to be kind of finally getting maybe a bit more of the attention that it's long deserved.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, listen, thank you so much for talking to us. This new STP EP is an absolute joy. I've been rinsing it continuously ever since I heard it, and I'm looking forward to hearing all of your other aliases, even the ones I don't know about when I'm playing them. And dare I ask if there's Bud Ludzer? I know Bud Ludzer's kind of very popular, almost more. Is he kind of more popular than you want Bud Ludzer to be? Sometimes he's taking you over.
It is, yeah. He's my alter ego.
Right.
When I'm stone dead drunk, then I'm Buzz Ludzer in those moments. So,
like arrogant brother that you don't get on with.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, there are tracks in the background even with that alias, but I'll have to see where that lands.
I'm excited because I mean, with the Cyclist going in the direction, I'm wondering where on earth Bud Ludzer will go from here. I think it's going to have to get wild.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I took it down a little like junglist kind of realm at one point, but footwork, all sorts of different types of genres I've been working on in the background that I think could fit with that kind of alias and where to take it next.
Well, I can't wait to hear what you do next, Andrew. It's been lovely to talk to you, finally, and hopefully we'll get you in the studio sometime soon.
Cheers, I'd love that.